Hello, Joanne. Welcome to the Introbiz Global Summit. How are you today?
Good morning. I am fantastic. I am so excited to be here, Tracy. I really am.
Oh, awesome. Well, it's great to have you here. So I just want to tell everybody a little bit about Johann Callaghan, the sleep coach. So Joanne is a best-selling author. She's a speaker, sleep science coach, health and wellness coach, and podcaster. She is the creator of Empowering Sleep Success, 12-week live online program. Her podcast, Empowering Family Health, is a very successful show, helping to empower parents and families all over the globe. She has featured many times in the media, on radio, TV, newspapers, and magazines, and she's an award-winning entrepreneur. Her best-selling book, How to Get a Good Night's Sleep, is available. And Joanne helps to educate, inspire, and empower people to take back their own power to live a better life, healthier and happier life with better sleep and a healthier lifestyle. Welcome, Joanne. It's great to have you here. So just tell the audience a little bit about where did it all start for you, entrepreneurship, and why a sleep coach?
Oh, okay. So I suppose I'll give you the short story. So I've had a very traumatic childhood, like a lot of people have had, I suppose. And I was abused when I was very young. And when I got married, then I was terrified to have children, right? So when we got around that whole ordeal, after all the counselling and everything, we decided to have a baby. And that was in 2007. And she died on the day that she was due. So I carried her full term. And you didn't know that, Tracy, did you?
No, I didn't. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was. No, I've had a plethora of things, that happened as a child, when I grew up. And many people say to me, God, Joanne, how are you still alive? Like, you didn't take your life, Now, there were times that I felt that way, to be honest with you.
Wow.
But when Megan died, Megan was something really special. She died on the 7th of December. But she was born on the 11th. I had to go home from hospital and let it sink in, and I wasn't ready to give birth. So I had to go home, knowing this, go back in, give birth.
Wow.
And on top of that, all my family were away. They were abroad in Australia because my brother was getting married. And talk about extremes, right? My brother got married the day we buried Megan. So it was like, you can imagine my mother at the top table celebrating her son's wedding, and her first granddaughter been buried the same day. So,
oh my God,
it was really traumatic. Anyway, I went through a downward spiral for a few years after that, and depressed, couldn't sleep. Lots. It was terrible. I got to a stage where I hated children. I envied, and I was very jealous and very bitter towards people who had children. So I got to a stage, I thought to myself, my God, who am I becoming? Like, this is not who I am. I was really bitter and angry all the time. And so I found a spiritual lady. I kind of asked the universe in a way. I didn't even realize I was doing that, but I was asking for help. I was pleading for help because I just couldn't live anymore this way. And a spiritual lady came along, brought me into her circle. She was doing an open circle for a few weeks. Nobody showed up, right? You know, the way synchronicity, I really believe in synchronicity.
Me too.
Nobody showed up. She's a very successful lady, this lady. So I had her on a one-to-one for 2 hours once a week, purely just me. And we really worked hard. And she taught me how to love myself again. She taught me all about forgiveness. She taught me all about self-care. Oh my God, we beat ourselves up so much. So much stuff. She really helped me find who I was again. But more importantly, the power of our minds. She really taught me about how powerful that we are and how we can take back our own power, right? And live the life that we want. So that was the start. That was my first point. And then I met Pat Slattery, who I in the meantime had started training as a massage therapist, Reiki therapist, all the therapies, because I was really into health and wanted to have the tools myself to live a better, healthier lifestyle. Yeah. Pat Slattery said, you've got to write a book. Really, stand out and, be an accredited person.
So amazing, Pat. He's an amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah. I was with him for a good number of years. I actually joined his course on the day of my birthday on the 18th of May. So that was my birthday present. Yeah.
Awesome.
So the book was really successful. When I wrote the book, the reason I wrote the book was all my clients were coming to me and they were exhausted, Tracy. They were like, I don't have energy to play with my children. I'm tired all the time when I wake up. And I said, oh my God, people need more sleep. And when I wrote the book and when I saw all the research, I found out even more about how profound the impacts of sleep are. And
yeah, absolutely.
that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I want to really create an awareness and empower people to live the life that they want. And, you know, people are very resigned at the moment, and sleep is, in my opinion, the first step to wellness, because everything is better with a good night's sleep. So
yeah, of course, absolutely. And, you know, at the end of the day, if we don't have our sleep, we don't have the energy, right? You know?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like,
And then you can't perform at your highest performance. And I think as entrepreneurs and business owners, even if you're working for people, you know, it can be really exhausting. You know, I mean, I get nights where I don't sleep properly, where I've got 3 Cavachon dogs. They're being quiet for a minute, which is good. But you know, one of them sometimes wakes up in the night because she's got a weak bladder, you know, and
bless.
and you know, let her out to the toilet. So and then the next day, it's exhausting, and you've still got to carry on, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? An odd night, because life happens, an odd night of bad sleep is not too bad. It's not the end of the day. But it's when we're having this continuous cycle of bad sleep and nights, bad habits. But an awful lot of it, Tracy, comes down to how we're living our life. It's not just what we do before we go to bed. That is important. Yes, of course it is. But it's really how we're living our life. And right now, we're going through this pandemic, and there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of concerns, a lot of worry, a lot of upsets, and it's having an impact on our nervous system, which is creating an impact on our ability to relax, because that's what we need to do. We need to be able to relax for the onset of sleep. So that's what's missing.
Absolutely. So do you find that because of the pandemic, with the situation at the moment, and there's a lot more stress, have you picked up a lot more clients, and has there been a lot more problems because of it?
Absolutely. And I'm actually really concerned, Tracy, because I've been getting clients, I've been talking to them on the phone, and they're really just like, it's like they're at the end of their tether. They're like, I need to get my sleep. I'm absolutely exhausted. Or I'm also getting phone calls where their partners are snoring and a lot more, because sleep apnea is a very big issue. A lot of people are not aware of, and it is a sleep disorder. It's a medical condition, and with stress it can really impede that a lot more. So I'm getting a lot of, and even like if your partner's not sleeping well, they're going to be irritable and grumpy, and they're going to have an impact on the family the next day. So there's a lot of more intense family dynamics now, a lot of more people nagging at each other much more and complaining and blaming and all of this. So there's a lot more of that going on. So, you know, lack of sleep can really have far-reaching effects.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is it that you love about your work?
What I love is when I love to see people knowing and believing that they can actually do something to help themselves. I'm all about empowering people. I love empowering people because, you know, when you're resigned and when you're like, oh, I have to go to the doctor and find out what's wrong with me, right? Immediately you're giving your power away. And there's so much that you can do. And you know what? We're all individuals and we all have specific needs. And, you know, the doctor only spends 10 minutes with you or whatever in the surgery, in the doctor's room. It's not enough time to take a full history and to get to really know you and what your needs are specifically. So I really encourage people to find out what it is that they like to do. Which it's a very simple thing, Tracy, right? Because, you know, you hear all this, oh, you can do yoga, you can go walk, and you can do exercise and all of this. If I say meditation to some people, they run a mile, right? And meditation is very, very effective, lots of scientific studies, but a lot of people...
Really relaxing. I've only recently started meditating. My daughter got me into it, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really effective. It slows the brain waves down, and it just has so many effects on the body, and it's very effective. And you can do it during the daytime, because really you can do it during the daytime and at the nighttime. You can do it anytime, basically. But it really helps you to manage your nervous system, your stress response, all your stress resilience. And the more you practice it, the bigger you're building that resilience. That's ultimately what's happening with meditation.
Yeah,
but there's loads of different types of meditation. You can do a walk, and people are meditating, they don't even realize it. You know, you're going for a walk, you know, if you're daydreaming or whatever, that's, you know, visualize, and all of this is all meditation. Even reading a book and pondering over the book, that's a type of meditation. So meditation is...
Yeah, and I think we all need to relax, because I think we all run around like headless chickens, and I think, life is so busy at the moment. And I think since the pandemic, I know I've been working a lot longer hours, being in the house all the time, you can't really go anywhere, apart from I do take my dogs for a walk down the beach every day, which that is food for the soul. I always say, I must add that, because I think however hard we work, I've always been, and I've always said, work hard, play harder,
Yeah.
you've got to take time out for you, because when you don't, that's when you burn out and you're not as productive, so you're no good to anyone if you're ill, or you're at home, laying in bed because you can't get up because you've overworked. So I think it's really, really good to relax and take time out. So what do you do as a business owner and as a sleep coach? What do you do, Joanne, to relax?
Okay, well, I tell you what, the very first thing that I do in the morning is I take control of my morning. That's the first thing that I do, right? So I start, it's my golden hour. That's what I call it. So I don't jump into working straight away first thing in the morning, okay? So that's kind of setting my day up for an easy, stress resilient kind of a mode. I practice gratitude. So I wake up in the morning and I'm thankful that I can breathe. There's so many people that have breathing issues, even when they lie down. Something so simple like that. If it's a nice, beautiful day outside, I love getting out. I'm a real outdoor person.
Me too.
I'm grateful for that. Whatever, it could be anything that you're grateful for, but that raises your energy, right? And that helps with your relaxation.
Yeah. I practice gratitude every day myself.
It's so powerful. It really is. Bruce Lipton talks about it all the time. Joe Dispenza talks about it all the time. It's so relaxing. The one thing that I don't do, Tracy, is I don't go near my phone, because so many people go and reach their phone first thing in the morning before they've even said good morning to their spouse, right? So that's giving a message to your spouse, my phone is more important than you, really, on a subliminal level, right?
Yes, of course.
You're reaching your phone and you're checking messages from other people. Now, in doing that, you're actually giving your attention to them, right? So you're giving away your power effectively. If you think about it, right, you're checking your emails, you're responding to Facebook comments or whatever. So I never go near my email for the first hour of the day. I don't even turn on my phone. In fact, there's times when I forget to turn my phone off flight mode. I don't be in a hurry to knock on my phone. But yeah, so that's what I do. I love walking, absolutely. Even there's a lot of people doing a lot of Zoom calls now, right? And it's great, but we do have to be mindful of it as well, because sitting in front of a computer, this sedentary lifestyle is not good for us. We're never designed to sit around. We need to use up energy, right? I go out walking. So I even in between my Zoom calls, if I've got 15 minutes, I'll go out and walk down to the end of the road and back again. But I will do that, right?
Yeah.
Now I love forests.
I love for fresh air anyway, isn't it?
Really important. I know you mentioned the beach, and the beach is fantastic for grounding yourself.
Love it.
Yep, absolutely. Even the sea air, because the sea air, the salt in the air, very, very grounding. And walking in your bare feet, a fantastic thing that you can do to help release, those the stress in your body. Really, there's been lots of scientific studies about grounding. Grounding is really, really important.
Charlie told me that, actually. Yeah, she said. I mean, she reads a lot of books, so she's probably read it herself. But it's amazing. I find it the most relaxing, and I don't know about you, but whenever I come up with really good ideas, I'm usually surrounded with water. It's usually when I'm either in the shower,
me too,
or on the beach, or if I'm on holiday and I'm in the pool, I will always come up with really good ideas, and it's always around water. And I've only just recently, about a year ago, realized that.
Yeah. There's see, we're all energy, right? And water allows things to flow, and it actually holds memory. Water does. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Moto, is it? Hidden Messages in Water, that book. Oh my God, he done these brilliant. Like, everyone should read it, because the power of water is just underestimated. It really is. And we're 70% water in our body. So we are electrical beings. We're made of salt and water.
What's it called again, Joanne? What was it called again? What was the book called again?
Hidden Messages in Water.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look at that.
Really, absolutely. It will blow your mind. He takes photographs of frozen water, and what he does is he plays music, like nice music, classical music, and when he freezes it, all these beautiful shapes. But when he plays hard rock music or whatever, it's all distorted. They're not nice. Even if you write the word love, because words have energy. If you write the word love and label it onto your glass of water, it sounds ridiculous, but honest to God, it works. And this guy actually shows this, he proves this. So be mindful of what you're saying to yourself. So when it comes to sleep, a lot of people say, you know, entrepreneurs, oh, I don't have time to sleep. I have to get this presentation finished before I go to bed or whatever. Or, you know, the way we give out about ourselves, we say, oh, damn, why did I do this? Joanne, you, whatever, right? We're calling ourselves names. That is going into your body, and that's having an effect on the water in your body and how your water vibrates. Seriously, like, it's just profound.
Oh, it sounds incredible. It's fascinating. I'm going to definitely have to do that. I always get fascinated by things like that. You know, I love reading new books that takes you to another level and just makes you think about things. You know.
Yeah, even look them up on YouTube. It's, oh my God, it's brilliant. But water, and you see, for so many people, even when it comes to sleep, you know, it could be something simple like you're dehydrated, you don't have enough water. We absolutely need water. It does so much in our body. It really does. And that's part of our aging process as well. 50% of aging comes from dehydration, you know, and we don't drink enough water, clean water.
Yeah, exactly. So just tell us a little bit about, you know, what would you say, like, obviously, you know, a lot of people suffer with bad sleep. What would you say is the top 3 things to be able to get people to sleep properly?
The easiest things, and look, it comes down, it's individual as well, right? But really, if I was to generalize it, the first thing I would say is our circadian rhythm is really super duper important. Our circadian rhythm is, we have rhythms in our body. Our body is so intelligent. It's a 24-hour biological process. So it's primarily influenced by sunshine, daylight, and darkness. Okay, so this is what turns on and off all our hormones, our daytime hormones and nighttime hormones. So the very first thing that I would say to people is, when you get up in the morning, is get outside and get sunshine. Now, even if it's a bad cloudy day, you're still getting enough sunshine that will help to reset your circadian rhythm. Really, really important, because we're so out of routine, we're so out of rhythm. Have you ever, it's like jet lag. You know that feeling when you're jet lagged, you're just, oh, I'm so out of sync. I don't know if I'm coming or going. That's ultimately because we're so out of sync. And now with this pandemic, people are going to bed later, they're binge watching Netflix and they're drinking alcohol, and then they're getting up later in the morning. So it's shifting our circadian cycle, if you like. And it even has a massive impact on kids. Kids are out of school now at the moment as well. Well, my daughter's gone back now this Monday. So, but yeah, getting sunshine first thing in the morning, get up at the same time every morning. Now, even if you've had a bad night of sleep, get up out of the bed. You can go back and have a nap later on, earlier in the morning if you want, but it's just to reset that circadian rhythm. You want to get into that habit, that routine. It's really all about habits and routine, Tracy. So getting up at the same time every morning, going to bed at the same time. Okay, that's the first thing. Getting up at the same time in the morning is probably more important than what time. And set an alarm clock for when you're going to bed, for when you're going to bed at night, rather than getting up, right? Because we forget to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's another thing you can do. And then the third thing I would say is electronics. Oh my God, electronics and devices. The blue light that's emitted from your devices, it dampens down your melatonin. It stops the production of melatonin. For every hour that you're on an electronic device at nighttime in the evening, it suppresses your melatonin. Melatonin is your sleep hormone.
Really?
Suppresses it by 30 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you've certainly done some research on this, Joanne, haven't you?
Oh my God, it's incredible. The blue light, see, it has the same wavelength as sunshine. So you're confusing your brain. And you see, we have light receptors in our eyes, so the information is taken in through our eyes into a part of the brain that tells us if it's daytime or nighttime. And the other thing that influences our circadian rhythm, they're the 3 things, is the electronic devices. Turn them off maybe, I'd say 2 hours before bed. I know people are going, what? But if you're serious about your sleep and if you're having difficulty with sleep, I would switch them off 2 hours before bed. You can also use a program called Flux, Flux, on your laptop. It takes out the blue tones, Flux. And I think there's Twilight for Android phones, and I know the Apple phones. I don't have an Apple phone, obviously. the iPhone, they have something built in that takes out the blue light. But yeah, like really the phones, because another thing that the phones does is it creates this dopamine effect, because we get addicted to our phones, and we're scrolling and we're scrolling and we're scrolling, and an hour later we're still scrolling. It's addictive. It's really addictive, and I'm just so
and it's that phone as well, isn't it? You know, what are you missing out on? What, you know, what's going on? You know, and you know, even I'm like that. You know, it's like you can't help it. You know, and I went through a stage of not going on my phone for a bit in the mornings, but I've started going back into that habit again, you know, because it, you know, it becomes a habit, doesn't it?
That's what it is. It's behavioral. It really is behavioral, and it also excites your brain. So the blue light, the dopamine effect, and the excitatory neurons in your brain. So there are three things that's going on, and those three things combined. How are you supposed to wind down and go to sleep when you're on your devices? Teenagers are bringing their phones to bed. They're underneath their covers, texting their friends. Teenagers, unbeknownst to parents, right? And anyway, mobile phones, electronic devices. Get rid of them at night time, get up at the same time every morning, and get sunshine as soon as. So they're the three tips that I would give in relation to everybody, to generalize. Another thing that impacts your circadian rhythm is the timing of the foods that you eat. A lot of people wouldn't really consider this because, you know, back in the day when we lived in caves, we only ate by daytime because we didn't have any light at night to be eating or cooking or whatever. So we primarily ate during the daytime. So remember I spoke about the circadian rhythm, and in our body, all our cells have circadian clocks. And the timing of the food when we're eating food, it activates these clocks in our body. So again, it tells your body it's daytime if you're eating. So it can really screw up this whole circadian rhythm when you're eating at the wrong times, if you're eating during the night or too late before you go to bed. So that's another big thing. And lots of people are trying to lose weight. And I did a talk there a couple of nights ago. You know, you can actually lose weight while you sleep if you do it right. And it's all to do with hormones, but it's really powerful.
Oh, I'd love to know how to do that.
Yeah. Because all our nighttime hormones.
Is that in your book?
Yeah, I think there's a little section. Yeah, there is. I do. Yes, I do. Because
everybody, you need to get How to Get a Good Night's Sleep with Johann Callaghan.
Yeah.
It's now on Amazon. We'll pop the link in the chat bar.
Yeah, it's incredible because we have like daytime, nighttime hormones, and the nighttime hormone. See, we're anabolic during the nighttime, which means everything's been built up and made. And during the daytime, it's catabolic. So we're using up energy resources. We're breaking things down, you know, like breaking down our muscle fibers and all of this. So there's two different processes, and there's two sets of hormones, if you like, that are involved in that. And our nighttime hormones, our melatonin, our growth hormone, testosterone, they're all made primarily at nighttime. They work at nighttime. They're fat burning hormones. So if you're not producing enough melatonin, we get melatonin we can get it from foods, but we get it from our daylight as well. We have to make sure we have enough serotonin in our gut. Serotonin is the precursor from melatonin, and serotonin we know is the feel-good hormone, and we get serotonin from exercising. So it's just all interconnected. It really is. But when you have the information and the knowledge, see, you can be so powerful. You know what to do to create all these, you know, to optimize these hormones, you know, and then it's to do with time and the circadian rhythm. So if we're really aligned to this circadian rhythm, Tracy, between eating and getting sunshine, exercising, you know, and eating the right foods, because if we're eating processed foods, that's a stress in itself on the body. And you really want to be mindful, because we've stress everywhere, like from physical stress to the body to the foods we're eating. The thoughts that we have, that's a stress in itself. The toxins in our environment, the sprays that we have, the cleaning products in our house, even EMF from our phones, that's a toxin.
That's so fascinating. You just don't think, do you? And a lot of people probably don't think.
And it's the accumulation of it all together, Tracy, you know?
Yeah, unbelievable. So if people wanted to get involved with you, Johann, what does it look like? Obviously for you coaching somebody, you know, do you do a program? Do you do a group call? Do you do one-on-one? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so what I do is well, first of all, I have like mini courses. So if some people want to get a feel for me, what the information that I have mini courses. They're like just 1 hour tutorials on different topics. A very big one I have is losing weight while you sleep. And another one I have is your immune system. So really not boosting your immune system, because there are people with autoimmune diseases and we don't want to boost it in that case. So it's modulating the immune system. So sleep has a massive part on your immune system, right? Massive. Oh my God. So I have lots of mini courses. That's the first thing. I also have my Empowering Sleep Success course, which is a 12-week program. And really, I take a small group of people together and I educate them, but I also combine that with group coaching. So it's a really powerful process because you can actually hear yourself in what someone else is experiencing. And sometimes we're not even aware of the problems that we have. And for many of us, we can't see our problems. And if you can't see something, how are you supposed to fix it? Like, you know, and many of us deny so much about, you know, because we think it's a weakness, you know, but really when you have a good look at yourself and what's not working in your life, and when you acknowledge that, that's really the first step. When you acknowledge it, then you know it's there, you know it exists, and then you can do something about it. So we do that all in the group coaching. It's 12 weeks. And we do lots of assessments, you know, because we need to gauge where we are. And I work through all that with you. And it's just fascinating. And it's a small group of people. I also, what else? Oh, I have a seven-day sleep challenge at the moment. So that's in line with World Sleep Day. So that's on until the end of March. And you can sign up for that. Just go to johanncallaghan.com. You can sign. It's free. So that's something that people can do. I have my book. It's also available in audio. But yeah, and then you can do a one-to-one consultation with me if you prefer. Some people just want me on their own, so that's an option as well. So
awesome. So how can people reach out to you? So you said johanncallaghan.com. Any other ways?
I'm on Facebook. Just Google me on Facebook. I've a fantastic YouTube channel with all my podcasts there as well. So that's all health and wellness and sleep. So you get a lot of my interviews there on YouTube. Yeah, all social media, LinkedIn, Empowering Sleep or Empowering Family Health is the podcast show. So just Google Empowering Family Health and you'll get all the podcasts as well. So.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to order your book right now today, and I'm going to put it in the chat bar for everybody to have a look at that, whoever's having problems with their sleep and you want to lose weight. Because normally they say how to make money while you sleep, but how to lose weight while you sleep. I think that's awesome, Johann. I think we need to do a networking event around that.
Yeah, and listen, you'll also get a free copy of my audiobook for the month of March. So if you get that book, the paperback book in the month of March, you'll get a free audio automatically as well. So
I'm going to order it today. Fantastic. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Johann. I've loved our time together, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining us on the Introbiz Global Summit. And people reach out to Johann. What an amazing woman you are. I think it's incredible. So thank you so much. Love you lots. Bye for now.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.